Hello everyone, and in this video I wanted to try something that a lot of YouTubers like Curryway and other speedrunners have been doing, where they speedrun Minecraft in 1.16.1, but the seed is their username. And in a lot of those videos, they change the capitalization in a weird way, like to get a really good seed, or a seed that works better for speedrunning than others, like because the capitalization changes the way the seed generates. But I decided I wanted to do it all lowercase, just like my actual in-game username was, just didjman. And this is the seed that I got. And it honestly ends up being a really cool and really fun seed. When I first loaded it up and I was in spectator mode, just look around, try to do some routing, back when I decided I wanted to do this video, I thought the seed was going to be kind of bad because there was no village, there was no lava pool, like no good way of getting food even because I was in a forest, and but I actually, the thing that made me invest in this idea, made me try it for the amount of times that I did, is because there's a shipwreck, and the shipwreck has got enough iron for me to do the run with, and it's got a lot more. Once we get to the nether ends up being honestly like insane. It's so much fun. It's a lot of fun to do. So I hope you guys enjoy that as well. I'm not gonna spoil it until we get there. Right now, we're just boating along, passing that turtle. As you can see the shipwreck come into view. In a cold frozen ocean biome now. So we're gonna hop out of our boat. There we go. Had some trouble there. Just move down and get that iron. 9 iron. The ideal number is 11 or 12 if you want a shield, so you can get like full iron tools, but 9 is fine. 9 will work. The 7 is like the minimum you need basically to not reset unless the buried treasure is close, because the important part is you get your bucket, your flint and steel, and then your iron pick, because you need that to mine gold for like bastions and other hypermodern strats like Ocean Monument too. So you might have seen it come into view, but this is what we're boating towards, that ruined portal up there. And it is a ruined portal. It's not finishable, but it does have a lava pool, which we're going to use to build our portal. But first, let's stop and get our tools here, down where the gravel is, because here we're going to get the gravel for the flint and steel as well. So, doing our crafting, making our shield. Probably don't need the shield, but there's no reason not to, because otherwise we'll have an extra iron that I'm not going to use. We're mining 3 extra stone because we didn't get enough iron for a stone axe, which is fine. And you probably noticed we're also throwing out all the things in our inventory that I know I'm not going to need for the run, because, you know, this isn't really random seed. It plays like a random seed run, because it's not like an amazing set seed that you can beat in 3 minutes. Can't even enter the nether in 3 minutes on this seed. Almost, but not quite. But yeah, I'm just throwing away the boat. I didn't grab the boat. I'm throwing away the doors, the gravel, all the things that I know I don't need. Because especially in bastion runs, which, yes, this nether does have a bastion, inventory management can be super important and super just annoying. Like, it can be one of the most annoying things to have the piglins trade you something you need, but you're just sitting there spamming Q over things in your inventory, like tossing out nether quartz and all these like nether bricks and all this just crap you don't need just so you can get those pearls or that string. It can be really annoying to deal with and actually lose quite a bit of time. So we're just making our portal right here the old-fashioned way, and also grabbing some lava, which is going to come in use. It's going to be very useful as to not die. So I spawn up here in this little kind of balcony thing in the nether over a valley, which, you know, seems like a kind of bad spawn. Once I finally checked the nether after the ruined portal, I thought this was kind of bad. But, oh boy was I wrong. This is actually such a good nether. You'll see pretty soon. We're going to do a little bit of speed bridging. Just moving. A little bit that way, and then we're gonna go on this balcony over here, and we're gonna make sure we grab these red mushrooms, because as you might have noticed, we did not grab food anywhere at all in this run. It wasn't worth the time. Instead, we made bowls, and we're going to be living entirely off of mushroom stew. So we got some red mushrooms back there, and we're going to grab a lot of brown ones up here. And we also mined that gold back there, and we're mining the gold here, because as you're about to see, I actually didn't get the gold nuggets there, so I went back and grabbed them. But we're making golden boots, because like you know, this run is a bastion run, and it's much easier to do a bastion when you have gold armor, because the piglins won't all instantly swarm you and want to kill you. Grabbing some extra blocks, because I generally know how many blocks I'll need. And you might see it in the corner of your screen, on the left. I think it peeked into view for a second. Yep, you can see that over my shield. That's actually the fortress, believe it or not, but we are not going to the fortress. It was like sticking out in the netherrack down there, which is pretty cool. I didn't even notice it at first when I was trying to find everything for the seed, but there's actually a bastion, a bridge bastion, only like 100, 200 blocks away, and that's what makes the seed so insane. And it's literally just my username. Like I didn't do any weird capitalization changes. Like I was gonna run this seed no matter what, and it ended up having this insanely cracked nether with this bridge bastion with 6 obsidian in that chest you saw me grab, and a fortress nearby. So here's where the lava bucket comes in use. Definitely helps. Without that, this hogworm is about to smack me. So we get to avoid that pretty easily. We're just going to move on up here to these gold blocks, the signature 16 gold blocks that the bridge bastion has. And something a lot of runners have been doing, and me too, as I do in this run, you don't need the full 16 blocks. It's just, you're going to get obsidian in one of the chests, almost guaranteed. I messed up my crafting a bit here, but I grab 11 blocks. You don't really need any more than that, generally, for trading. So I'm using a bastion root, which I think was made by 11 billion. That a lot of runners have been using, including Curry and basically all the big runners and streamers. And we didn't craft one of the gold blocks into ingots because, as you're about to see, we're going to use that to anger piglins to this little hole we're creating right here. I placed the stair in, so it's easy for them to come in. I toss in some ingots beforehand so that the piglins won't hurt me. And I got a lot of piglins this run. This is pretty lucky. I think there's like 9. 9 or even 10, maybe. Another one comes from the top, as you're about to see, as I'm in my inventory. Kind of scared me a bit. And we already got our first gold trade. Our first pearl trade. As you can see, I'm also crafting that glowstone dust into glowstone, because my plan, if I don't get enough string, which I actually don't, I get like barely any string at all, is we're going to use respawn anchors to help us with our 1 cycle. A lot of people might not have seen that strategy before, where you place respawn anchors on top of the perch, to help you deal some damage, because they blow up a similar way that beds do. And oh my god, this bastion was so quick. The trading was so quick. It's true I barely got any string, but I got 26 pearls that quickly. Like, there were just so many piglins down there trading. That's what made this so quick. I got 15 crawling obsidian and 9 glowstone, which is enough for the 2 respawn anchors, even though I ended up only using 1, I think. I don't totally remember why. But, yep. I got everything I need, including fire res. That's the thing I didn't mention. And we're just gonna come back from where we entered the bastion. Gonna real quickly pop the fire res and also eat a mushroom stew, and then we're gonna start pearling. But we don't even have to pearl very far. This is where we came from. You can probably see the fortress right there. We're actually gonna pearl past it for a second, and we're gonna restock with red mushrooms, because up until this point in the run, we had more brown mushrooms than red one, and we're running out of food. So it's very important that I grab those extra mushrooms. And you can probably hear the blazes right now, but believe it or not, yes, this exposed piece of fortress right here is also the spawner. That's what makes the seed so insane. The bastion was through that bridge. I actually located a bastion first, because generally it's going to be quicker to go to the bastion first and then pearl to a fortress, which is what we do. But I didn't even see the fortress as I was like flying around in creative and spectator, like creating the route for this. I didn't see the fortress at first, and I /located it, and I was like, oh, hey, those cords are pretty close, and then I looked over and I realized Oh wow, there's an exposed piece of fortress right here, and it's a blaze spawner. So definitely super, super cool seed with how close the bastion and the fortress were. Very happy I got such a cool seed for my username. Really convinced me to want to get a good time on this and upload the run. So I ended up crafting respawn anchors right there as I was waiting for blazes to spawn. I probably should have just been digging out the spawner, but I didn't want to have to worry about crafting and forgetting to craft things later. So here we come the next wave. And there's the second rod, 2 for 6. 3 for 6, 3 for 7, I mean. Yeah, this is one of the, blaze rod drops are definitely one of the things that could have been better in this run, and if I were to, like, keep doing the run, could have been a time save, as we're passing the 10-minute mark now, 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Yeah, if I kept grinding to see, I'm sure I could get a run that's better time, like with better blaze drops and also more string, so I don't have to worry about respawn anchors and using the string from the library. Because you might notice I only have 8 wool, and 2 respawn anchors and 2 beds 1 cycles are possible. Like they're not that hard, but they're probably about as hard as just getting a 4 bed without respawn anchors, which is, it's pretty hard. It's not impossible, but I didn't want to take that much of a risk when I have such a good time, such a good pace. I took 2 melee hits from the blazes right there, which scared me a little bit. I almost got overwhelmed. But these last 2 blazes will actually drop, and I know I only need 6 blaze rods because the portal room, the portal itself is a 1-eye. So we're going to eat 1 more mushroom stew, and we're going to start moving down the fortress, heading to our blind travel spot, which, if you didn't know, was what the 10 obsidian is for. The blind travel spot is definitely not perfect. I could have gotten a better spot, but I feel like a perfect spot over the stronghold or in the stronghold is almost impossible to line up because the blind travel doesn't work perfectly as it should with like the 1 to 8 coordinates and whatnot. And I'm also doing this pretty slowly. I want to make sure I don't misplace any of the obsidian because I only had 10, exactly 10. If I misplaced one, it was a reset. Here I actually craft my eyes beforehand instead of going through because I don't want to have mobs like hitting me while I'm entering or while I'm exiting. So I eat up, make sure I'm at full health, craft more mushroom stews, and I built the 1 block there because I actually have to stand at this exact spot in the portal, like 1 block higher, otherwise I spawn in a cave below this. So, but here we are. I turn on chunk burgers right there, and I pearl. I'm heading to where I know the stronghold is. So the blind trap was like 100 blocks away, maybe 150. Not entirely sure, which is obviously fantastic for a blind travel. I mean, it's not really a blind travel. But if this was a real run, that would be a fantastic blind travel. But, we're close now. I'm making sure my chunk coordinates are around 4-4, because that's where the entrance is. So that's the quickest way to dig into the stronghold. Place a block above my head so mobs can't come in. And then unfortunately, this is, like I said before, another time loss, I guess, is I didn't get much string from the bastion. So instead of going straight to the portal room, which is, luckily they're actually like in the same direction, you'll see me grab 2 iron ingots and the leggings, because why not? And you might have guessed, I'm going to be using those 2 iron ingots to make a sword, so I can get the cobwebs really quick. So it was pretty convenient. There was just 2 extra iron in that chest right there leading into the library. Nice little time save right there. So I think a library usually only has enough for two more beds, enough string for 2 more beds, if I'm not mistaken. So in the end, I'm going to have 2 respawn anchors and 4 beds. Even though I end up only using 1. I think in the moment I just decided it wasn't worth the time to set up the other one, and I wanted to just get out of the perch as quick as I could. Yep, there's enough string that we needed for 2 more beds. Might have been able to push out another bed. Not sure. But it ends up working. So we're just going to head down to the portal room right here. And there you see, it's a 1-eye. And we head through. And this is where the extra pearls we have for the bastion are going to truly come in handy. Because I'm using them to do this whole end thing a lot quicker. I probably could have used a pearl right there. I think I was just worried about my health. I don't know why I'm so worried about my health. I just didn't want to choke the run. Like, I'm literally half a heart of damage, and I eat a mushroom stew right there. It take a while to get my respawn anchors and my glowstone out. But as you're going to see, I only end up using one of the respawn anchors, and you have to charge it with glowstone, by the way, like you see me do. And this is another pearl. I almost die because I actually pull out my flint and steel and start spamming it at the ground instead of the blocks for the block clutch. And if I still had the flint and steel in hand when I went, when I went to the tower, like when the pearl landed, I would have just fallen and died. Like I don't think I would have had the block clutch. So luckily, I was able to switch to my actual blocks quick enough. And you'll notice we're already at 15 minutes, but I guess I was quick enough to get out of the perch because, wow, the dragon perched so quickly. I got some very, very good perch RNG. And here's the one cycle with the one respawn anchor, and I use all 4 beds. There we go. Pretty solid one cycle. It's pretty fun to do with the respawn anchor. It's not too hard to set up. It's easy to get materials for it, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really good run. In-game time of 15 minutes and 36 seconds. I know I had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Seed is didjman, my Minecraft username. I might do another one of these at some point, like with my YouTube name, LordWeasel. But yeah, this was a ton of fun to do. Be on the lookout for my new random seed personal best going up soon. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.